In the world of citizenship, a major player would be this whole concept of citizenship by investment, which is pretty much, for those of you that don't know, you invest in a country and in return you get citizenship in said country. Many countries around the world have programs like this. We take a country like Malta, hell, even Austria has a program, and a new country, a Pacific Island country, has introduced their own citizenship by investment program and is currently the cheapest program in the market. So the Pacific Island country of Nauru has currently introduced a new policy where they'll be taking a citizenship by investment program where you donate money or invest money into the country of Nauru, and in exchange you'll get Nauruan citizenship. And the reason why this is such a desirable program currently is because it is the cheapest one. Like I said, it only costs for a single applicant $105,000, which is the cheapest citizenship by investment program currently in the world. It was around the same price as the St. Lucian CBI program back in the day, but now all the CARICOM countries and all the Caribbean citizenship by investment countries have increased their price. The only similar one actually with a similar price range would actually be Vanuatu, which in all honesty has a terrible reputation in regards to this whole citizenship by investment program. They in fact lost Schengen over Vanuatu's citizenship by investment program. Vanuatu is going to cost you about $130,000, but it has a terrible reputation. And Nauru has come in once again, now the second Pacific Islands country to introduce a CBI program. Now, this program is actually quite desirable if you have a family, if you have a wife, maybe you have some kids, maybe you have a sibling. Who knows? Because the increase in price for you to apply as a family isn't too much. So if you apply as a single applicant, it's going to cost you around $105. That is the amount you have to invest in total with things like legal fees and everything. It might cost you about $150K. But if we talk about the investment only, just so you can get a pretty good understanding of the numbers here, if you invest as a family, if you want to get Nauruan citizenship, not just for yourself but for your family as well, it's going to cost you around 140 to maybe 150,000 in directly investing into the country, which makes it once again the cheapest one in regards to not only as a single applicant but also if you are going to apply as a family. Now, Nauru is quite an interesting case, and it's a very interesting country to have introduced a program like this, and there are some benefits and there are some drawbacks that I thought in my head immediately, and I did post a couple of things on Twitter about this new citizenship by investment program, and all in all I can understand the benefits and the drawbacks if you are thinking about maybe doing this program. I can understand why someone would want to do this program, but I can also understand why someone would instead prefer maybe a Caribbean citizenship by investment program in a country like St. Kitts, or maybe they'd just rather do Malta, which is a lot more expensive, but maybe they want a better quality program to do. So the pros that I personally see for the Nauruan citizenship by investment program would be, number one, is geographical location. If you are someone who loves to move around a lot, move to different countries, and if you want to live a Pacific Island lifestyle especially, Nauru is going to be the perfect country for that. Yes, in regards to Pacific Island countries, it doesn't look the best. It doesn't really have the best beaches because of mining and everything else. It actually did become a very wealthy country, but they did sort of also at the same time ruin their natural scenery in a way. So if we compare it to maybe Tuvalu or the Solomon Islands or something like that, it's certainly, you can't compare Nauru to that. Another major benefit with Nauru would be that it's actually, like I said, the cheapest CBI program out there. So if you are someone who has about 200,000 American dollars and you want to spend half of that on a CBI program, or maybe a little bit more, then perfect, here's the Nauruan program. And the processing time is also actually quite short. The official government website says it's going to take around 3 to 4 months to process an applicant to actually get citizenship and get approved for doing the citizenship by investment program, which is a very short space of time. 3 to 4 months is pretty much nothing. Certainly in the CBI realm, that really is pretty much just a day of sleep if you think about it, if we convert the different times. So very fast processing times, very low cost if we compare it to other CBI program countries, and also quite a good geographical location. And now for the cons of Nauru. Now, yes, it is a Pacific Islands country, absolutely, and I can already imagine what you're thinking in your head when you think of a Pacific Islands country. However, Nauru is a little bit different. Here's why. If we compare it to a country, a lot of people are comparing it to Vanuatu because of the citizenship by investment program elements, but let's compare it to the whole of the Pacific Ocean and the Pacific Islands countries. Nauru doesn't really look that great. The weather is quite nice, it's very nice year round, but the country is only one island. It's not a chain of islands, it's just one island, super small. People live on that island, but I would personally imagine that it has a very strong small town mentality, which I know that a lot of people in this space, particularly, such as me, are not fond of. And Nauru, they can't really do anything about this, but it is a very small country, so having a small town mentality, actually in Nauru's case, having a small country mentality is possibly going to be inevitable. Another issue that I personally find with this Nauru and CBI program is that it's just not a strong passport at all. Now, I know that visa-free access isn't everything, but it is a huge, decisive point to consider when you're thinking, okay, should I naturalise in a country or not? Should I invest my hard-earned money into a country or not? And Nauru, let's take a look at the visa requirements map. You don't have visa-free access to a lot of countries. You have a bunch of rare mixed countries around the world, but all in all, you haven't really curated anything cool where you have an actual incentive to get the passport unless you actually genuinely just want a plan B. Maybe you come from a country that doesn't have access to the UAE or the UK or the common travel area in general, then it might be a good option, but there just isn't enough countries that you have access to without needing a visa with this passport for me to go, okay, I would like to get Nauru and citizenship. In my opinion, although it does have a far worse reputation, I would much rather take the Vanuatuan passport instead of the Nauruan passport. Number one, because Vanuatu is a nicer looking country, and even though its passport has a terrible reputation, I still think it is still a little bit better. However, in regards to not having that strong level of visa-free access, Nauru also doesn't have to do that much bureaucracy. Although I would imagine that they would possibly want access to the Schengen area. They don't currently have access to the Schengen area, meaning they don't necessarily have to bow down and submit to whatever the European Union demands of them, because they don't have access to it. They can pretty much go, alright, well, you ain't going to give us access, so we're going to do whatever we want. Nauru does have that right currently, and they technically always have that right, but now they are at a very unique leverage point where they have to make a decision of, okay, either we want to improve our passport, or we want to make a quick buck and give our passport out to more people. That's sort of the dichotomy in decision making that I think the country will have to make. Now, would I personally take the Nauruan passport? Well, it was offered to me for free. Absolutely. I am not going to say no, I'm not taking that passport, it's weak as hell. No. If the passport was offered to me for free, I would definitely take it, just like I think everyone else would. However, for 105,000 American dollars, it personally doesn't really draw me to it. If I want a cheaper citizenship by investment program, you're not going to get cheaper than Nauru, frankly. But if I have about 200, maybe 250,000 to dispose of in regards to a citizenship by investment program, even though it has a terrible reputation, I would do the Vanuatu program if we focus on the Pacific only. But frankly, I do maintain that Vanuatu is probably a better program, even though their passport has a terrible reputation. But realistically, excluding the European CBI countries, the Caribbean citizenship by investment countries are still sort of the main players in this realm, and in all honesty, they have the strongest passports, they have the most respectable passports, and they probably have the best programs currently out there if we exclude a country like Malta. So for me, Nauru, would I take it if it was for free? Yes. Would I invest 105,000 to get the passport? No. Personally, I wouldn't. I'd rather go somewhere else. But if you want to have just maybe a plan C or a plan D or what have you, or maybe you want to live in Nauru, there's always a case for that, then this passport might be a good option. But if you want to improve your global travel, it's not a good option. And if you don't necessarily want to live in Nauru, I personally can't see any incentive as to why you should choose Nauru over Vanuatu or any of the other Caribbean countries that offer their passports in exchange for an investment. Let me know what you think about the points that I've raised in this video. Do you agree with me, or do you have a different perspective? And if you like this video, you can click right here, subscribe to this information on YouTube. And if you want to follow me on my other social media, you can follow me on Instagram, X, and Rumble, but then down below in the description. And be sure to check out my podcast. I do a lot of podcast episodes with a lot of interesting people. I'll check that out. It'll be the top link in the description. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.